cut was in place, connecting the water lines directly to the MIC tank area. The next link in the chain, a critical safety seal that should have blocked that path, it just wasn't there. And the final, fatal blow, the valve that was supposed to be the last line of defense was broken, and had been for weeks. The water had a direct, unobstructed path right into the tank. And get this, while the investigation was just starting, the danger wasn't even over. There were another 35 tons of this stuff still sitting in the plant, a ticking time bomb. The only way to make it safe was to restart the factory, the very same broken factory that had just killed thousands. Can you imagine the terror for the people who survived? They actually called it Operation Faith, which seems pretty fitting since that's about all they had to go on. Okay, so we know how the water got in, but that's only half the story, isn't it? Because this plant had all these modern, expensive safety systems. So the really disturbing question is, why did none of them work when they were needed most? Right away, two very different stories started to emerge. Union Carbide, the American parent company, immediately pointed the finger at sabotage. They claimed a single angry worker did this on purpose. But when independent investigators started digging, they found something else entirely. Not one single act, but a long, slow pattern of negligence, all driven by cutting costs. Let's just break it down. There were three main safety systems that should have stopped this leak. First, the vent gas scrubber, which is supposed to neutralize the toxic gas. It was turned off to save money. Second, the flare tower, meant to burn off any gas that gets past the scrubber. It was broken because a corroded pipe hadn't been replaced. And finally, the water cannons, the absolute last resort. They were too small. They couldn't even reach the escaping gas. 3 layers of safety, and on that night, every single one of them was useless. And when you look closer, it's not hard to see why. The plant was losing money, so management slashed the budget. They got rid of the maintenance supervisor role, they didn't bother fixing broken gauges. That critical pipe for the flare tower, it would have been a 2-hour fix. They didn't do it. And people inside the company were raising the alarm, saying the systems were inadequate, but their warnings were just ignored. And it really all came down to money. By 1984, Union Carbide had cut the Bhopal plant's annual budget by the equivalent of about $1.25 million US. A series of small decisions, a pipe not replaced here, a position eliminated there, that all added up to one massive, catastrophic failure. So that's how it happened. But the story of Bhopal doesn't end when the gas clears. Not even close. The shadow that night cast is incredibly long, and people are still living under it today. The human cost is just staggering, almost impossible to comprehend. You have the thousands who died right away. But then, the Indian government estimates another 15,000 have died since from related illnesses. More than